For your Papa Daily Update TV, no son of Mrs. and Red Abba Channel, so I hit on the man, mamma, and subscribers, semi drop in the latest CBA over Jibren when you be IT. Now, the latest news, yes. Dome-Kwabenya says a Collation air cost war giddy after no Supreme Court order is a Collation intimate take effect and the air cost so I must say the report and some yet free horn 669 votes no is a rejected. Nick Nani say Uchim say one rejected because a one abasem or the coca one and we are at the ensemble by into Mopese one of the polling station what Dome-Kwabenya or Messiah run of Collation na and NDC for no so there to guess a woman penny. They disagree with the figures now a year is in the Babon Chenama confusion kakrebi et me a si ho na yemung room yen share nema a coso hoya ba de cahobiano be the moon
declared on a wrong statement of poll because they use training sheet which is not the one that they should use. So the commission has rejected one. So we try to come and add the two and see what happens. So when we added the two based on their statistics, the difference between the two candidates is now 165. Then the one that was rejected, the total number of voters was 669, meaning that if you give that number to the second person, he will overtake the first person. So it means that you have to go and rerun election at that polling station. So that's the decision. What's the name of the polling center, please? I don't have it offhand, so I can't tell you. How soon is the commission going to take a decision? The name again? Akroma Women's Development Center 2. So we are sending our report to the commission. Then the commission will take a decision on when it should be done. But you are sure that it will be done before they are inaugurated? Yes. You are sure all these things are not working against your timelines? I'm saying that you are sure that will be done before the inauguration.
Thank you. So that's Dr. Shobo Kweku, Director of Elections for the NPP, Evan Simako. Let's get a few words from him.
Yes, I think that we behaved in a mature manner as parties. We had an IPAC conversation. The EC informed us that there are 3 polling stations outstanding. We've looked at it. What tells us now is that there's the need to rerun in one polling station. We are going to go back and talk to our base. This is an election the New Patriotic Party has shown a lot of maturity. We've really taken on board all those unnecessary confrontations from our opponents, but it's in the good of Ghana. The message from the candidate, Dr. Baumia, was that before, during, and after the election, there must be peace in Ghana. And it is what the New Patriotic Party is exhibiting. What we've gone through. Strangely, we had not been given the Form 1C, which is the collation sheet. Our colleagues had them. Thank God today we've gotten copy. We are going to look at each one of them from one polling station to the other. Mind you, there are 370 polling stations. And so we are going to look at each one of them as they are represented on the collation sheet. And we'll come back. So this is a process that is still ongoing. It's also clear to everybody that what may have occurred as a constituency was not right. So we'll go through.
You said you guys had a Form 1C of it. Why is it that they had it and you couldn't get it?
I think that the EC should be in the position to answer. You need to find out from the returning officer why they were able to give copy to the NDC, but will not give us copy. In fact,
you were not present. You were not present there.
We were here because we were not giving information as to the collation that was supposed to go on. So we were not there. But we met here for a continuous collation. The EC we work with, the returning officer, and the DEO didn't mention anything of Form 1C, but it's in the good of it. The New Patriotic Party is going to go back to the constituency. We'll work out with our people. We know that the good people of Dome-Kwabenya will give our candidate, Michael Aaron, Junior the vote that he would need to go to Parliament to represent them very well in the 9th Parliament.
Will you welcome a rerun of the elections at that particular polling station?
The decision from the Commission is that there's going to be a rerun in that polling station, and that's what we are going to do.
Are we going to see active campaigning from the NPP?
Everybody who is supposed to be on the register, the New Patriotic Party is going to reach out to them.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Evans Nimako as well, seeking to suggest that they believe some level of irregularity. Let's speak to Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer as well. Doc, talk to us. What you said is what has happened. The expectation is that there will be a rerun of some sort. Are you satisfied with the process thus far, and how is the party preparing for that rerun in that polling station?
Well, let me make it very clear. We have not reached any final conclusion on this yet, because they themselves, they have problem with their additions. The additions they came out with, it's not a true reflection of what happened. You remember when they did the declaration on the D-Day, interestingly enough, they had soft copies of the results of the 3 polling stations, and they declared Madam Akrugu by 51,000 plus, and Makukwe had 50,000. So there was a difference of 1,154. Very huge difference. So today, if you are having problem with one polling station, that one polling station should be taken out, and that one polling station total votes are 689. So when you take out 689 from 1,157, your guess is as good as. It's a simple arithmetic. You see the problem I have with this commission? They always have a problem with arithmetic. That's their problem. So they said they were relying on a laptop to do calculation. Do we do electronic calculation in Ghana? Our results are manual. We go by the pink sheets and we go by the collation form. The collation form is what is known as the Form 1C. Then the summary sheet is the Form 1D. So we have taken the Form 1C. We'll do the calculation for them and bring it back. These people are
so what, your votes have been reduced?
Completely. We completely disagree with it, because on the face of it, they themselves know that when you declared her, she was leading with about 1,154. So if you are expanding one, and the one total votes is 689, this one is a primary school mathematics. It's not algebra. So it's not logarithm.
You feel that the 165 is a decrease in your calculation?
Of course, they have problem with arithmetic. We are going to do the calculation and bring it back. We told them they should hold their horses. We are doing the calculation ourselves. Our opponents also pick one. They should also go and enter. We'll go and enter. Simple Excel sheet, and we'll get it.
Does it mean that the NDC is not going to campaign?
There's no rerun. She has won.
The EC just told us that there's going to be a rerun.
I am saying that they have a problem with their arithmetic. It's their own document. You remember when we did registration, they were doing wrong calculations. Coral draw people. I'm not surprised they've used Coral. No, I'm saying we have won the election.
So that means you're not going to campaign back at Abokobi station?
Campaign, you are talking. I say we have won the election. You are talking. The document will show. Let's come back. We are coming back with it. We'll go and sit down, do the arithmetic for them.
Dr. Tanko, you told us that you have to go and do the recalculation from the C1 form you got from the EC.
Yes.
And then that will inform your decision. You haven't done the calculation yet. But you said
I am saying that per the calculation they did on the D-Day and what they've written on their own summary sheet, it's 51,000 for Madam Akrugu. The gentleman got 50,000. It's there. It's on the distance. So and you are saying remove one polling station from it, and it's a problem to them.
and then it arrives at the figure the EC announced today. What will you tell the public?
I am saying that we are going to look at it.
Well, so there you have it. That's Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer there. So the Electoral Commission, the communication from Dr. Sribo Kweko earlier is that they have decided to rerun the elections in the Abokobi Women's Development Center 2. That's a polling station in the Dome-Kwabenya constituency that has some 669 registered voters there. And he says that if there has to be a rerun, which they've decided, it will be before the inauguration of the 9th Parliament, which is on the dawn of January 7. But then again, they've decided to do this because if you look at the difference between that's Aaron Maikokwe and Faustina Akurugu, there's just about 165. And so the 669 registered voters in this Abokobi Women's Development Center 2 would make a difference if it is added either ways. And so we have the Dome-Kwabenya constituency. It is actually the biggest constituency that went into this election with some 370 polling stations. That's 370 polling stations, 182,644 registered voters. So that's the decision now.
Yes, let me...
You oppose it?
Yes, I don't know why, first of all, my party is participating in this. Because results have been declared. Yes. And let me quote Justice Ansah, Julius Ansah. He recently retired from the Supreme Court. In ex parte, Dr. Sari, he said this. The decision in ex parte, Alhaji Collins Dauda, Supra, is the effect that in a parliamentary election, where the electoral processes have been substantively carried out, up to the point where a candidate has been declared elected, that is up to the process in Regulation 41, Sub-Regulation 1C of CI 15, which was enforced then, the election is complete, and an election petition can be brought to challenge the validity of the election. Do you know what this means?
Tell me.
They have varied the terms of PNDC Law 284, 1992, which says that you must wait for Gazette notification before you proceed to court. This Supreme Court pronouncement is saying that once results are declared and you are aggrieved, just file your petition. Don't wait for Gazette notification. Now, it's implied from expert Alhaji Collins Dauda, Supra, that the subsequent processes, namely the endorsement of the rate and its transmission to the Electoral Commission, as well as the publication in the Gazette and notification to the Clerk of Parliament, that is processes in Regulation 41(1)D and E and Regulation 41(2)A and B of CI 15, are not necessary for the election to be complete. It can also be inferred from expert Alhaji Collins Dauda, Supra, that in a parliamentary election, the electoral processes up to the point that a candidate is declared elected by the Electoral Commission go to the substance of the election, whereas the subsequent processes after such declaration are for purposes of record and public notification, and do not affect the substance of the election. This inference is given credence by CI 15 itself. For instance, CI 15 prescribed that publication through some other mass communication media may be substituted for Gazette publication. So this is the authority.
I see.
And this is not per inquirium. This is a holding per answer GSE. So he says that all the other publications, they are all administrative. Even though statutory required, they are administrative. They do not go to invalidate the pronouncement at the collation center of an elected candidate. Any other subsequent process, in terms of being aggrieved, it has to be before the High Court.
Right. No, I see. And I think that's also captured in the Section 9.
Yeah, but finally, how does the incompetence of an EC officer affect the candidate? So how should that be?
Because Dr. Sibokweku was clear that the EC official recorded this polling station.
It should not be permitted. So what is the punishment? Yes. Especially under Regulation 42 of CI 127. He's supposed to be punished. Yeah. You understand?
Not the candidate.
No. The Regulation 42 is very specific that where the regulation prescribes a thing to be done in a certain manner and you fail to do it, you are liable upon summary conviction to a fine or imprisonment or to both.
Okay.
So EC officers who conduct themselves in such a way that it amounts to a breach of the regulation ought to be punished.
But I was surprised. See, I was expecting Sibokweku to have been clear on this. How does the incompetence of your own staff undermine the expression of the sovereign will of the people?
Thank you.
Are you saying, is he insinuating that the results were falsified or were written on those training sheets by the NDC? If it's your own official,
can the figures be regularized?
Okay. Right. So if
on Form 8,
if it is your own official who did that, then take it and then just
transpose it into the regular prescribed
because of that,
reporting.
that must subvert the expression of the popular will of the people in that area. It's absolutely unacceptable. It tells me that you need a certain fundamental appreciation of the will of the people to be able to occupy some.
In any case, we want that police station.
Madam Asiso, Samuel Breni be a Daily Update TV so.